The Manuscript of Survival, Part 398. February 18, 2014. By now, many of you will have felt the tugging from these energies, and we can sense a heightened sense of frustration in all those still insisting on hanging on. You see, this is not an easy task, for even if you think yourself already well above and beyond the struggle of release, this is in many ways not the case. Not to dampen your spirits, but we would like to delve a little bit further into this enigma of resistance, for that is what so many of you are experiencing at the moment. Remember, we are here to help you to get airborne, and the only way to do that is to allow yourself to let go of all of the old ballast that is still holding you tethered to the ground, and as such, the more you flail and struggle, the more you seem to find yourself entangled in all of these old ropes, and the more you will feel as if pushed deeper and deeper into a corner without your own volition. But such is the paradox in this process, that the more you struggle to let go, the deeper you seem to mire yourself in everything that you do so want to get rid of. And yes, it is frustrating, and yes, it is painful, for it is a little bit like a trapped animal fighting and pushing in order to break free, but the only tangible result will be an even stronger feeling of restriction. So that is why we are here, to remind you all that you are so close to attaining that true freedom, the one that will serve not only as a breath of fresh air, but as such a total sense of liberation, it will literally take your breath away. But what is standing in your way are still those same obstacles that have been there all along, and the only place you can locate them is within. For no matter what your external circumstances are, no matter how strapped you are financially, nor what kind of relationships you find yourself in with others, it is simply a figment of your imagination that this is the real reason for your sense of imprisonment. For there is nothing outside of you that can hold you back once you attain that freedom within, the freedom that will enable you to literally scale any mountain without seemingly having to exert yourself in any way. For the moment you let go of any inhibitions that are still holding you back, you will fly all the way there without feeling even out of breath. And when we say inhibition, we refer to that old and by now well-known idea that you are simply not able to let go, for these things are simply a part of you. They have always been thus, and so, they will continue to be so, and so, you will have to content yourself with watching from the sidelines as those other, more fortunate ones let go of whatever it was that held them back. For they are perhaps more entitled to their freedom than you? But that is not the truth, but it can be a convenient illusion to hold on to, when you think you find this struggle to release simply to be too much. And so, you let yourself fall back, and you feel even more despondent than before. But again, that is why we are here, for we know that at this point in time there are so many going through this exact phase where they say to themselves, enough already. I have been releasing and fighting for my freedom for years and years, but now, I do not have it in me to go on anymore. What a failure I am, and so you sit back and try to lick your wounds, but no matter what you do, they only seem to hurt you more. But remember, you are never not good enough, you are simply exhausted, and so you lose sight of your own strength, and you feel as if everything is slipping away from you, except for that old baggage you so want to be rid of. And so, it is as if everything comes crashing down, and you with it, and it is as if you are left in heap on the floor, unable to even get to your knees, much less back on your feet. So we say to you, you are not lost, nor are you out of the game, you are simply temporarily out of breath. So we ask you to sit down and redial that connection to you that seems to have come undone in all of this toing and froing. For remember, these energies are doing all they can to help you shake loose any old baggage still hanging around, but in the process, much may be apt to get out of sync as well. And so, what you take for a permanent disconnection, a permanent cease of communication, is merely a small blackout of services, caused by these intensely fluctuating signals going to and from your system and the source of these helpful, but rather heavy-handed energies. So we ask you to take some time to reconnect, for that signal from within is always there, clear and pure, and when you do reconnect, you will find that you are not lost nor left behind, You have simply tripped over that small heap of old luggage still cluttering up your space. And remember, this is not clutter that you need to spend time or energy on decluttering. All you have to do is to take a step aside and walk right by it. For this is what you need to do in order to truly leave it behind. Stop worrying about it. For it is not yours, it never was, you simply picked it up along the way, and by, you started to believe that it really belonged to you. But it does not, and so, you are free to simply leave it sitting there by the wayside as you continue on your journey with a much lighter step, and no extra load at all. We make it sound so simple, and that is because it is simple, except within your mind. For that is where this has escalated into a battle for so many, as you put so much of your weight into trying to shift this heap of old luggage to and fro, pulling your heart in frustration because the sheer weight of it all is simply too much for you. But you can put down your arms, and stop figuring out how to find a way to overcome this burden. For all you need to do, is to realize that it's not yours anymore, in fact it never was, and so, you are simply free to leave it behind anytime you find it in you to do just that. The Constant Companions. Channeled by Asia North. asianorth.wordpress.com